What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Revolution. Well, not really. Yeah, I know. We're actually taking a look at Lost Ark content because we are currently in the end game right now. I am currently working on a download for the game. You know, you can see mine right here. I'm a little bit of the ways from completion. I will be streaming the beginning of this game tomorrow at launch time, so if you're interested, jump on in. A couple of things I want to talk to you guys about, specifically because I'm really excited about the game coming out and releasing, is whether or not you guys are playing this, letting you guys know that there's going to be a lot of Lost Ark content on this channel, especially regards to streaming, which will more than likely be, you know, like let's plays kind of sections, stuff like that, because I'm not going to really try to reinvent the wheel on Lost Ark content. It just doesn't make sense in that regard, so I'm not going to do that. I did want to update you guys on something that they've released the Lost Ark patch notes, the release notes for the game. Basically, they talked about the content in the game that's there. Excitingly enough, they basically intend to release all of the content that is currently available in the East on the Korean server. So we normally would think that you're going to get a trickle effect of like content. We pretty much largely are getting the majority of the content for the game dropping in Lost Ark, which is amazing. So like the level cap, which was at 55 during the closed beta, will be at level 60. You're going to get access to a lot more of the chaos dungeons, the various zones like in Punica, and even some of the new Guardian raids as well, all the way like in tier 3 and tier 4 and tier 5, which should be really good. Overall, that's going to include the island and sea content. They have a whole host of scheduled activities for the launch of this game. You can tell that this game is getting a good push from Smilegate and from Amazon. I mean, you know, I hate to say this for Amazon, but it's not like they knocked it out the park with the New World. So I guess they, you know, this is a good way not to have all those eggs in one basket. So we're basically looking at a very free-to-play friendly, said that all weird. Looking at a very free-to-play friendly game. For instance, inside the launch notes, one of the things that they immediately decided to talk about was the improvements for quality of life, and along with the improvements to quality of life, they're talking about the ability for players to access power passes. So there's going to be two ways that you can access power passes. So what are power passes? Power passes are essentially ways for you to level up a character from 1 to 50 innately. So it's, if you've played Destiny, you've played Final Fantasy or anything like that, and you wanted to level up another character, it's not like leveling it up in Marvel Future Revolution where they expect you to go through all the content over again. You can just pay basically to level that character up. Well, in here they're going to basically give you the option to level that character up with these power passes, and there's going to be two ways that you obtain power passes. One, you finish and complete the main quest. That's easy enough, right? Because I think a lot of people are going to be able to do that. And then B, that you actually watch all the story content cutscenes. So whatever total time that is, make sure that you're watching the cutscenes. Don't skip any cutscenes, because if you don't, then you'll get a power pass. So that's essentially one character that you'll walk through the story, and an additional 2 characters that you'll be able to hit the soft cap at 50 with, you know, relatively quickly, and be able to level them up. With the full release of a total of 15 characters, guys, they've got 15 characters that are basically being released at launch. So the sorcerer that was the summoner inside of the beta, the sorcerer and the advanced class is actually going to be included in there. The striker is also going to be included inside the so essentially what we're getting is the full scope of content that is currently available in the East. Well, not the full scope, you know, there's some pieces missing inside there. If you've watched any of the YouTubers and stuff, content creators are currently making content for it already. There's not all of the content, but there's a large bit of the content. You'd probably say like 90% of the content is there on launch. And what they're doing through this is they're making it very accessible for players to play at a free-to-play level, so that way they can grind through. Like one of the things that was mentioned inside the launch notes, if you try to go view them now, you'll miss out on it because they removed it, not for any negative reason or anything, but I think it was probably a little bit of confusion there, because without the game actually implemented, the change log doesn't really make sense. So like the way it was inside the Eastern versions, you had tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 gear, and in order to level through those gear pieces, you basically had to collect resources in order to level up. Well, they're going to make it really easy for us to just catch up to that in-game content, because they're going to basically make tier 1 gear 100% guaranteed with a reduced cost to the gearing requirements, and the same thing for tier 2, and then the same it's not going to be exactly as much for the tier 3, but a little bit lessened. So that's going to be exciting overall. They removed it from the notes, so if you go on the official Lost Ark, playlostark.com website, and you're looking at the launch notes, you probably won't see it there because, you know, it doesn't really make sense. So it's just one of those things, you know what I mean? Because they removed it, because I get it that it's probably not making sense to people. Like, this is not really a change log, because this is just how you're introducing the game in the West. That's going to be the standard cost. We never had a cost associated, so you're familiar that this is a huge cost, that this is a huge change if you played it inside the East. But obviously, you know, if you played it inside, haven't played it at all, you don't know. But if you play inside the East, you recognize how big of a thing that is. That's extremely amazing. Basically, what we're getting is the idea that when the game comes out, they want you to enjoy the content, they want you to enjoy the story, and they want you to work your way through that content at a rapid pace, so that way you can catch up, which is really, really awesome and really, really good. I'm excited about that. Now, if you are thinking about playing this game and you're thinking about joining, more than likely I'm going to join the regular server. If you're thinking about, and that's on the East Coast, if you're thinking about joining the game, if you're thinking about playing, there are a few founders packs that are going to give you early access to the game, and the question has been flown around, which one should you get? The bottom line, long story short, is that the gold package, the gold founders edition, is essentially the one worth your time. You're basically looking at every 1,000 crystals equal $10, so you're basically getting a, you know, the return on your investment for everything else because of the crystal packs that you have. If you choose to purchase the platinum pack, you're essentially looking at having, I don't know how to say it really, but you're basically looking at the platinum pack as like the collector's edition. So you're just collecting items that you don't necessarily need in order to play the game. So just think about it in that way. And then you have the gold and stuff like that. Now, let's be real and let's be honest about something here. It's not bullshit, the community and what we're saying. If you're playing Marvel Future Revolution and you've paid even just a little bit into the Marvel Mall here, you shouldn't really be telling me about the contemplation of whether or not you're purchasing pack, you know, the platinum pack or the freaking gold pack in here, because we've spent a whole lot less on a whole lot less bullshit. Like, to be truthful, let's be 100% honest. The amount of money spent on steampunk outfits and special costumes and regional costumes inside here so you can nano fuse them and stuff like that, the amount of money spent on dimension boxes so that way you can have those incremental bonuses, we've gotten a whole lot less for a whole lot less inside the Marvel Mall. That's just being real, 100%. So like, if you're interested in join in on the game, I'm definitely going to be playing this game. And then, like I said, one of the things that I wanted to make you guys aware of is specifically with the channel, is that in the coming months, there are quite a few games that are going to be on the horizon that I'm looking at playing, specifically though Lost Ark and Elden Ring. So when those games come out, I will be hosting those content on here. So I'll probably rebrand the channel like my original intent was to do, and just make it, you know, Lords of Gaming. Now, the intent behind that is essentially that I want to continue doing gaming content across the board. I want to do it on YouTube, and I want to stream this stuff on Twitch. So I hope some of you guys will migrate with me over to Twitch, as I do streaming on that platform more than I do streaming on the YouTube platform, and I'll just post recorded videos. Now, I also want to make you guys aware that just because I'm going to be getting heavily into Lost Ark and Elden Ring content, that does not mean that I intend to take a break from MFR and stop playing this altogether. The truth of the matter is, I've had way I have way too much money invested in this game overall for me to just drop it and quit. That's just the truth of it. I will still be playing Marvel Future Fight, just way too much money to drop it and quit. And the really good thing about it is that I've got a Steam Deck pre-ordered, and so I'll probably be able to try to figure out how to bring content from there and be able to do things on the fly. So I'm really looking forward to what this year has to bring. I was really hoping my Starlink would be here by now, but unfortunately that's got pushed back because I thought it would help make my streaming life a little bit easier, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, but I just recently received a notice that I won't be getting it till probably late 2022, which really sucks, but it is what it is. And hopefully my service that I have out here will do what it can do. Are you looking forward to playing Lost Ark? And if you are, let me know which servers you guys are joining on. King told me that he's creating a clan or a guild on there, so I may end up tagging up with him. I know a bunch of people from X-Force are planning on playing the game. Like I said, Marvel Future Revolution is going to be up against some really stiff competition, because I think there's a lot of people really interested inside of playing some of these new games and new titles that come out, and a lot of these new titles like Lost Ark is going to take time, you know, so there's going to be a heavy investment in there. And the question is whether or not Marvel Future Revolution has the meat and potatoes to keep up with that. Luckily enough, it doesn't have that much of a daily cycle, but with them releasing the roadmap that they have, where you're basically saying 75% of the roadmap has already been fulfilled, and that was a roadmap for the first half of the year. So the only thing that we're looking forward to come into the game based on their roadmap right now is essentially squad battles and alliance boss battles. We have no more information about that than we do about any planned character releases in the game. So I've been dying to give you guys content. I don't assume we will get anything new related to Marvel Future Revolution you know, during the Lunar New Year. So that's just the truth of the matter. So I'll probably be bringing you guys, well, not probably, I promise I will be streaming tomorrow, starting on the launch time for that. I'll send out a log early tomorrow, so that way you guys can see that. I hope you guys are enjoying everything about Marvel Future Revolution that's currently going on. I'm not as excited about the stuff that we basically have right now. I wish that they did a little bit more with the things that they planned on releasing, and I wish that we had more in terms of depth, but unfortunately we don't. But you can see I'm playing Battle Challenge right now and jumping into those. I'm really excited for tomorrow morning, and really excited about a lot of things that's happening currently in my life. So we'll see what happens, guys. Yeah, I'm really excited, guys. I'm really excited for Lost Ark. I'm really excited to bring you guys this content. Until next time, guys, peace.